Welcome to Sample Exams, where software testing questions get solved, step by step. Let's get started. Answer A is not correct. We do not accept the risk, concrete actions are proposed. Answer B is not correct. No contingency plans are proposed. Answer C is correct. The proposed actions are related to testing, which is a form of risk mitigation. Answer D is not correct. Risk is not transferred but mitigated. Answer A is not correct. Quality control applies to all development activities, meaning that every software development activity has a corresponding test activity. However, here we are attempting to equate test levels with development levels, and, although we know what is meant by test levels, there is no common understanding of the term development level. Answer B is not correct. Every software development activity has a corresponding test activity, however, test objectives are quite different. For instance, there might be a test objective of ensuring that a test object adheres to a contractual requirement that a certain type of testing must be performed before delivery. In this case, there is no reason for there to be a corresponding development objective. Answer C is not correct. Quality control applies to all development activities, meaning that every software development activity has a corresponding test activity. However, the same symmetry does not apply to testing in user activities. For instance, for some systems it is difficult to even identify the end users. Also, some test activities are focused on developers, e.g., testing for ease of maintainability, which has no user aspect to it. Answer D is correct. Quality control applies to all development activities, meaning that every software development activity has a corresponding test activity. Risk assessment can use a quantitative or qualitative approach, or a mix of them. In the quantitative approach, the risk level is calculated as the multiplication of risk likelihood and risk impact. So, risk level equals risk likelihood risk impact, then, risk impact equals risk level / risk likelihood. In our case, risk impact equals 1000 / 50% equals 1000 / 0.5 is equal to 2000. Answer A is correct. Defect management is not less expensive. Finding and fixing defects later in SDLC is more costly. Answer B is not correct. This is a benefit of static testing. Answer C is not correct. This is a benefit of static testing. Answer D is not correct. This is a benefit of static testing. Answer A is not correct. Test environment readiness is a resource availability criterion, hence it belongs to the entry criteria. Answer B is not correct. This is a resource availability criterion, hence it belongs to the entry criteria. Answer C is correct. Estimated defect density is a measure of diligence, hence it belongs to the exit criteria. Answer D is not correct. Requirements translated into a given format result in testable requirements, hence it belongs to the entry criteria. Answer E is correct. Automation of regression tests is a completion criterion, hence it belongs to the exit criteria. Answer: A is not correct. The organization's marketing team is unlikely to perform much testing, although in some organizations they may be involved with acceptance testing, so their average level of experience, most of which would be in marketing, is not likely to impact how testing is performed for a given test object. Answer: B is not correct. The level of knowledge of users that a new system is being built for them is unlikely to affect how testing is performed. Any user involvement that could affect how testing is performed is more likely to be as a result of decisions made by the testers, customer, and project manager. Answer: C is correct. The number of years' experience of the members of the performance testing team will help to determine the capabilities and knowledge, G, of different tools and defect types that the team members will apply when they are testing. Answer: D is not correct. The organizational structure of the different end users, who may be varied, will change between users. So, it may not even be known when the application is being tested, and the end user's organizational structure can thus have little effect on how the testing is performed. There are three equivalence partitions: 10, 11, 12, and 13, 14. The boundary values are 11, 12, and 13. In the three-point boundary value analysis for each boundary, we need to test the boundary in both its neighbors. So, for 11 we test 10, 11, 12, for 12 we test 11, 12, 13, for 13 we test 12, 13, 14, altogether we need to test 10, 11, 12, 13, and 14. Answer: A is correct. Each test level has specific and distinct test objectives as a different form of test object, e.g., single component, complete system, is tested at each test level, and overlapping test objectives would lead to unnecessary duplication. Answer: B is not correct. Test analysis and design for a given test level should start during the corresponding development phase to facilitate early testing, e.g., acceptance test analysis and design should begin during requirements analysis. Test implementation will generally start later, and test execution will start during the test level. Answer: C is not correct. Test design for a given test level should start during the corresponding development phase to facilitate early testing. However, test design, e.g., test case generation, needs to be based on an agreed test basis, not an early draft, otherwise significant test effort may be wasted on creating test cases for a design that later changes. Answer: D is not correct. Quality control applies to all development activities, meaning that every software development activity has a corresponding test activity. However, the same symmetry does not apply to dynamic and static testing. There are some static testing activities, e.g., static analysis, for which there is no obvious corresponding dynamic testing activity. Answer: A is not correct. When a user reports a software failure, thanks to the unique identification of commits, it is possible to reassemble the files from the software version which was used by the user, as well as the corresponding versions of the test scripts, and thus reproduce the failure and locate the defect faster. Answer: B is not correct. If a change to the test environment causes unexpected issues during testing, configuration management allows testers to roll back to a previous version of the environment. This ensures that testing can continue without being affected by the change. Answer: C is not correct. Configuration management ensures that all identified documentation, e.g., requirement specifications, and software items are referenced unambiguously in test documentation, e.g., test plans. Answer: D is correct. This is ensured by the defect management, not configuration management process. 1. Is true. Having domain knowledge is an important tester skill. 2. Is false. This is a task of the business analyst together with the business representative. 3. Is true. Being a good team player is an important skill. 4. Is false. Planning and organizing the work of the team is a task of the test manager, or, mostly in an agile software development project, the whole team and not just the tester. 5. Is true. Critical thinking is one of the most important skills of testers, hence, B is correct. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell for more testing tips and exam walkthroughs. See you in the next video.